We on? I say it all the time, don't I? I'm live, am I? Am I live? Everything's coming up. Hunky dory. Hello, I am live. Welcome back to a Saturday Night Live 11. 11. Can't believe it. I've been doing this for 11 weeks. Well, 12 weeks. Thank you very much for joining me on this. There's no one watching me yet. Some people hate doing this, but I love doing it. Absolutely adore doing this because it gives me kind of like, a bit of banter on a Saturday night. You can't moan about it. Better than going to the pub, as they say. So, boys and girls, welcome to a Saturday Night Live number 11 with your host, Jonathan Brown. Thank you. This is an opportunity for everybody out there to comment on anything. Terry's quick beer review says, hello, Jonathan. Hello, Terry. So nice to hear from you, mate. Haven't heard from you for a while. It's really nice to hear from you. I just thought I'm going to start off with what I'm drinking before it all degenerates into something else like it usually does. I've just reviewed this. I'll be posting it up. I've just started to drink this one, the old Dance Juice, which is widely available in in Tesco. It's been under a bit of the cost lately. I must admit, lots of people have been very critical of this beer, saying it's not hazy enough for them and it doesn't taste very good for them either. But I have to say to you that I poured it out and I've reviewed it, just reviewed it. Look at that, hazy. It's a lovely beer, you know. I actually do like this beer. London Beer Factory, I have to say, I like London Beer Factory. I think they do some nice beers. Anybody out there who've tried any beers from London Beer Factory, please tell me in the comments. Because I know why. Bryson Payne has just turned up with a double barrel name. He says, I get a little twinge in my helmet when I see the notification that's saying you're live. Well, thank you very much, Ryan. I hope that's more or less in a non-gay way. So, you boys and girls out there, boys predominantly at the moment, tell me what beers have you been drinking this week, what you've been enjoying, and everything like that. Terry, if you're watching, mate, I've been looking at actually, the Metro paper you get with the you get on the buses and stuff like that. You get the Metro paper and you get the Beers 52 ad in it, and there's a craft beer from Gads in that pack for a tenner. I'm not sure if it's the same Gads as what you drink. You like that bitter and stuff from. Let us know, Terry, mate, what you think on that. Wine by some pain with double barrel name. He's having Tyskie. Actually, I do rate that. Actually, wine. I do rate Tyskie. Cat's coming in. Let's get the cat. I do actually rate Tyskie. I think it's not bad lager, to be honest. I think it's a lager which a lot of people can enjoy, and yeah, it's pretty good stuff, to be honest. I tell you what, having cats. I don't know if you got cats, but they're psychos. They really are. They kind of ruin the roost. Terry's quick beer says yes, Treble XB. I've had that. I don't think I've reviewed it. But I have had that, and I think I picked it up in Aldi. I think they did a lot of Batemans, and I have to say that Batemans do some nice beers actually. Terry, Treble XB was a good one. The Victory Ale was a nice one. I did, but they have all been pretty tasty stuff, to be honest with you. I'll have to kind of like review some Batemans. I don't know who does Batemans now. I don't know if it's Morrison's or definitely. I know definitely Aldi do it. I don't know if they still do it, but I will look that up. Treble XB, I remember that. Yeah, it was a nice beer, Terry. It's a really nice beer. Another beer I need to recommend to you, Terry, is the Theakston's XB. I don't know if you reviewed it. That is a lovely bitter. That is a beautiful beer. If you like your traditional bitters, that is a lovely beer. Really is. It's fantastic stuff. Wine by some pain with double barrel name says Carpacci. Carpacci. Yeah, I did do a review of that. I actually quite like that. The thing is with Polish beers, Ryan, is the fact is that they're not. You don't get the strength in the taste of them, which is it's quite well hidden. The alcohol strength in them, and I have to say I did enjoy that. But I think I know a lot of people who thought it was kind of like Polish tram juice. So I totally agree. Try it. Hope you enjoy it, mate. I really do. Aaron Miller. Hello, Aaron, mate. Aaron, if you're there, hello, mate. Nice to see you. To see you nice. No need to panic. I'm here, boys. You're always there, mate. You're always there in a crisis. Not had a bad Gads beer yet. Well, Terry, I'm going to put you to that because I'm going to get some in and review them. I'm actually coming down south, hopefully soon. We've penciled in next year for a visit down south, so I'm going to pick some Gads beers up and I'm going to review them. Matthew Barker, hello, Jonathan Brown, hello, Matthew. I've tried to actually. I'm lucky you're here, Matthew, because I've tried to think about actually coming to York next week to meet you, but I couldn't because of other stuff. And it would have been really good to meet you in York and have a beer with you. It would be really nice. But we'll sort something out. I'm sure we will over time, mate. So no worries on that. Wine Boston Pain is. I don't know what happened there, Ryan Bryson Payne. Put your message in again, mate, because I think I pressed the wrong button on that. So sorry, I didn't block you out on purpose. I've accidentally pressed the wrong button. So I do apologise, Ryan Bryson Payne, with the double barrel name. If you're there, put it in again. Try and get Gaz number 3 as well, as Terry says. I will do, mate. I've penciled in the Gads Brewery, and I've also penciled in the Longmans Brewery as well. The Longman near Eastbourne, between Eastbourne and Lewes, which I'm going to go to next year, and going to hopefully pick some beers up. Matt Barker would have been great, that mate, but I will be taking a backpack and stocking up for sure. Yes, get to the Trembling Madness, Matthew Barker. Trembling Madness. And get hold of the old Wander Beyond, if you know what I mean. Are you looking forward to getting the Brew York Randy Savage beer? Randy Savage, he was a wrestler, wasn't he? If I remember, because I did have a WWF when it was back WWF album with all the songs on it. Yes, too right. I'm going to get hold of that, and I think it'll be a hoot to review it as well. Definitely. Right. Ryan's come up with his Ryan Bryson's come up with his comment. I'm just gonna hopefully show it this time. Ryan Bryson Payne, double brand name. Yeah, I know what you mean about Carpacci. Fuck it. Tramp juice is the way forward. It is if you want to get drunk. Definitely. If you want a good strong beer to get drunk, then fair enough. Terry's quick beer reviews. He says Gad's beers are made by the Ramsgate Brewery. Yeah, I did some research on that, Terry, after seeing your review actually, and I've actually did some research on who sells it in Kent as well, because I'm not going towards Ramsgate. If I come down, it'll be towards Tunbridge Wells. So I've looked towards Tunbridge Wells, and there is a couple of bottle shops I think will do it. So I'm going to pick up. Hopefully, I don't know how many beers they do, Terry, Gads, because they're all numbered, didn't they? Gaz number 1, Gaz number 2, Gaz number 3, if I remember. Tell us, mate, if you know how many beers they do, and I'll see if I can get about 6 of them, and I'll start reviewing them, because I'm wanting to really get back to doing reviews of small breweries as opposed to the big commercial breweries and up and come. I'm drinking this tonight. From Magic Rock, and like I say, I'm drinking that, but I want to get back to the more traditional sense of beer. The bottle stuff you find in your garden centres, the bottle stuff which you'll find in you know, gift shops or whatever. I wanted to give, you know, a legs up to the small brewery or the guy in the garage who's brewing something, you know. I think it's more important that we do that as well and not forget about the traditional sense of the word, the traditional beers, you know. The beers I grew up on have always been old school, you know, your London Prides, your Thegstons, your Black Sheeps, the Harveys. Let's get back to that. You know, it's all nice seeing these lovely beers with the, you know, the pretty cans. I do dig it, but let's not forget the people who are, you know, working hard in their garages and brewing beers and in the traditional sense. So with honest ingredients as well. So it's very important. Matt Barker says my uncle's having a beer that Richard Elliott was talking about last week. Smoke Joe Pour by Ferry House Brewery Lincoln, and he's loving it. Matthew, I do love smoke beers. I love smoke beers. You know, it's all nice having nice IPAs and that, and you know, your fruit beers. I've done a fruit beer tonight from Wild Card, which, you know, but it's always nice to do a lovely smoke beer. I've always been a fan of the style of beer. I think um, it's always been, you know, smoked stout would be lovely to have. But yeah, that sounds absolutely lovely, Matthew. Hope he enjoys it. Uncle enjoys it. Terry says, I think they do about 7 or 8 different beers. Well, I'm gonna check it out, definitely, Terry. Including 3 different stouts. I must do imperial stout amongst that for sure. I'm definitely gonna try it out, mate. Without, you know, this is the power of the internet. You know, Terry, without you, I wouldn't even know that Gads existed until I watched your reviews of them. You know, you've done them a big favour because I'm gonna do reviews of them, and hopefully someone else might do reviews of them, so the chain goes on, if you know what I mean. So it's fantastic that you're giving a smaller brewery, which up north you would never hear of Gads. You never hear of Gads. You never hear of a lot of the southern brewers, but it's nice to kind of like pick them up, do an honest review on them, and hopefully, you know, people will take note of that and carry on, you know, and think, oh, I think I'll get a Gads beer as well, and start to go ahead and, you know, start reviewing more Gads beers, and the brewery become more well known, hopefully through the internet, and hopefully more people buy their beers. So it's fantastic that, you know, people like us do this type of thing. It makes it all worthwhile for me. Definitely, it's always nice to promote the little man, you know, the underdog. Terry Scoot Beer says, I hope you can get hold of some, as I would love to see what you think, mate. I will do. I will do. If I can't get it when I go down south, I'm going to get them when I go to Beers of Europe or something. Someone somewhere will be able to get it up north for me, because I think it's very important, like I said, to support your small brewers, to kind of like really kind of like give them a helping hand on the internet, and say how great their beers are. You know, it's very rare I'll get a small brewer or get a beer that I really I don't think I've ever done it, but I really despise. I don't think there is a beer that I really despise from a small brewer, because I'm wanting, you know, I'm drinking it, wanting them to get exposure. So it's all great. The cat's sniffing my foot. Something's crawling on my foot. I haven't got a clue. Matthew Barker says, what are you on at the moment, mate? I'm just having a can of Northern Monk New World IPA in my fantastic new Northern Monk glass, which I nicked from the Northern Monk Brewery in Manchester. We could go on about nicking glasses. I've got long stories to tell you about nicking glasses. The beer I'm on at the moment, if you've missed it, Matthew, is that one there, and I'm enjoying it. I know lots of people don't like it. Lots of people haven't said it's hazy enough. For me, it's pretty hazy, and I'm really enjoying it. I think it's an okay beer, and I do dig the London Beer Factory. I think they're okay. I think they're a great brewer. Wine Bison Pain with double barrel name. Cheers, matey. 5 worst beers you've ever had. Go. The 5 worst beers I've ever had. lagers. I'll be honest with you. You can't be a good lager. I'll be honest. On a hot summer's day, a good lager is the best beer, without a shadow of a doubt, right? But the worst lagers, it has to be Carling. Homie says Carling better not be on the list. I've just said it. Okay, Orange Boom, the strong one. Fucking hated it. Horrible. Kestrel Super. That's my second. That was minging. You could run your bloody lawnmower on it. It's horrible. Horrible. I wanted to do the Tennant Super, but I've never reviewed it. But Tennant Super is another minger. Absolutely minging. Absolutely shy. Then we go on to the weaker lagers, which I've had, which I thought were pretty crap. I thought when I was in Spain, I had a beer called Cruz Campo, and that was pretty shy as well. That was nondescript. That was like drinking water. That was just like pouring water into you. It was just fucking crap. It really was. Who else? Last one more. I could easily say Foster's if I wanted to. But to be honest with you, I didn't think Foster's was that bad. It was drinkable. I'm thinking of looking back on old reviews. I can't really. Fifth worst beer, lagers. Not too sure on that, boys. I think the fifth one. Well, Aaron Miller says Carling. Well, Carling is. It's pretty shit. The Carling Premier is pretty shy. I have to say, Carling Premier for me is pretty shit. So, Aaron, it has to be on the list, mate. Warren Boston Payne, double barrel name, says Kestrel is dog shit, but I disagree about Tennants. We was talking about it the other month. Saw some from Aaron's local corners around. It wasn't that bad. Aaron Miller says my package shop is class. Fair enough, mate. Each to your own, mate. Package shop is class. Problem is that your package shop, usually packies are sort of change you. So check your change every time you go in there, mate. Check your change. So yeah, which is fair enough. If you like it, you like it. In fact, I haven't reviewed it. I haven't drunk it for years. Tennant Super. I might even like it myself. But I tell you what, when I do the review, I will dedicate it to you boys. If you like it, God bless you. If you like it, thing you want, fair enough. But as far as the worst beers over the years, I've had some ropey stuff, but I've had some good stuff as well. Lager isn't a class of or type of beer which should be looked down on. There is some good lagers out there, and there's some bad lagers. I know recently, within the past few months, I haven't really had many lagers. But I was thinking of doing a lager weekend and just doing lager reviews. But I'm off to Spain soon, so I might most probably do some lager reviews out there. It says stinks in there and good deals, but a half decent tram juice selection and some decent snacks. But the decent snacks to go with your tram juice. There you go, Aaron. There's a question for you and a question for Ryan. What is the best snack to have with a can of tramp juice? What would you have if you had something like Special Brew or Tennant Super or Kestrel Super? What would you go for? What would you eat? Matt Barker, have you ever had Batsman's beers? My uncle's having Victory Ale by Bateman. Victory Ale by Bateman's is a very nice beer. Tell your uncle that. It's an old school beer. It's a lovely beer. Big respect for Bateman's. Big respect for Terry's Quick Beer Reviews for bringing that up. No, I haven't. I've had a few of Bateman's beers, Matthew. As I said to Terry earlier, Victory is a good one. Treble XB is another good one. I did amaretto. I did an amaretto beer, which is really, really nice, actually. I don't think they do that now. That was a lovely one. Um, Warren Boston Payne with the double barrel name. So jalapeno puffs. Jalapeno puffs. I've never had them, but I will now, thanks to you two. I think I will. I think I'll just get a couple of beers in and just see if my local packy does jalapeno puffs. That sounds fantastic. Really does. Jalapeno puffs. Wow. There's me expecting pork scratchings from you two, but you say jalapeno puffs. Matt Barker says they do a mocha beer though. Yes, you're right, Matt Barker. I did do. I don't know if I've got it now. I did do a food comparing with mocha beer and a chocolate tart from Aldi. I don't know if I brought the video up. I'll have to have a look if I have or not. It really worked. The mocha beer is a nice beer. It really is. Sometimes with chocolate beers, you tend to get a bit, perceptive about if they're going to be naturally chocolate or coffee or whatever. But for me, the mocha beer from Bateman's is a good one. One Bites of Pain, they're amazing, like Watsits, but jalapeno flavoured. Well, we know about Watsits because there's plenty of women out there who will give you a blowjob for a pack of Watsits. Matt Barker says, have you had the Yorkshire pudding wrap in York? I bet that's cracking with an old school. I've never had the Yorkshire pudding wrap in York. I know it's plenty of people. I usually go to this place near, it's around the corner from a hi-fi shop in York. I can't remember what the name of it is now. Usually go for kind of like a poached egg. I love poached eggs. I love eggs. When I go to York, I go for a poached egg, which is weird. But I have a poached egg, then I go back to the Trembling Madness, the old Trembling Madness, have a beer. It's lovely. And I do like Matt Barker, if you go to the Brew York Brewery, please, and check it out. Tell me, because I've got a new shop there. The Brew York Brewery's got a shop there now. They've done it out since I last been there. Tell me what it's like, please. Thank you, Matthew. Nice one, mate. One by some pain. Oh, don't worry, I'm a white trollop for Paul Scratchings. Yeah, Paul Scratchings. Who loves them? Who hates them? Richard Elliott says, anybody mentioned Amanda Holden yet? No, I haven't, but thank you for Richard for reminding me. So, Amanda Holden nerds out there, please subject me with all your drivel. I'm very much looking forward to it. Matt Barker says, I had an interesting beer in Manchester yesterday from a craft beer pub. It was a bourbon biscuit imperial stout. 10% was a belter. Tell me what it was, Matthew. Tell me what that biscuit imperial stout was, mate. Amarillo says, I didn't want to be the first to bring the old Stoinker up, but whilst we are on the subject, she's a white sore, ain't she? She is a white sore. She's a white sore. She's terrible. If she was a dog, you took her to the vets, you put her down, wouldn't you? That's exactly what I would do. Matthew Barker, we'll be going to the Brew York Brewery. It's what I'm looking forward to most. Hope you really, really enjoy it, Matthew. It's a lovely. I do enjoy the Brew York Brewery. It's lovely. Great menu of food, menu of beers. But like I said, I got this new beer shop there. So tell us what it's all about. It was called Bourbon with a bourbon biscuit on the pamphlet bar. I can't remember the brewery. I think it was a collab. I'm sure it would have been a cracking beer, Matt. I like bourbon biscuit stuff. I love it. I love bourbon biscuit stout. You can't go wrong with it, can you? Really, 10%. It's going to be a hell of a beer. Really tasty as well. Ryan Bryson Payne with the double barrel name. Put it down my pants. Well, you can have her, mate, because I don't want it down my pants. Pass a parcel, innit? We could pass a parcel around a ring. You, Aaron, me. When the music stops, you can put it down his pants. Nah, can't stand her. Well, I'm just going to go in. I've been talking a lot. I need some light refreshment with this. It's a not bad beer. It's not bad beer at all. Anybody out there who's had that, tell us what you think. I really like it. I think it's not bad beer at all. Lovely, juicy notes. Here we go. It was all going rather well, this. I tell you what, it was going well. It's all going rather well until it kind of like degenerates into something else. Aaron Miller. Hello, Aaron. Sucking her farts out would go great with her tram juice. I'm sure it would. I bet it smelt better than the tram juice as well. Matt Barker, I forwarded you an Amanda Holden 2020 pin-up calendar. Thank you, Matthew. Thank you. I highly, highly, highly appreciate you boys doing that. Thank you very much to all of you. Yeah, I wish I never started that thing about my bad deed done for the day. What is your bad deed, Richard Elliott? I can't remember your last comment. Tell me in the comments what your bad deed was, or you, the person who's going to go out and get Matthew's Amanda Holden calendar. Tell us. I like to know. I like to know what you're doing. What to do? Oh, Ryan Boston Payne says, sort me one out, Matty. Oh, he wants one as well. Matthew, you've just started something. You're going to start distributing Amanda Holden pin-up calendars. That's your new job, mate. I don't think you'll be working at Young's anymore. You'll be doing that as a full-time. Richard said, invoking Amanda, we all having a whip around for all us as to get your lap dance. Oh, I tell you what, I wouldn't mind that. I wouldn't mind that. Because I let her do it. I let her do, her stuff like you do. Like that. Then after about 10 minutes of her sweating her arse off doing it for me, I'll turn around and say, sorry, love, you're not my type, so fuck off. I would love to do that. You remember TFI Friday? And he used to have TFI Friday used to have a model, and they used to have an ugly bloke. And he used to get the ugly bloke to go up to the model and say, sorry, love, you're not my type. I'd absolutely love to do that. I would. I'd absolutely love to do that. So, boys and girls, 28 minutes in. Thank you for joining me. You all stars, all of you. Thank you for joining me for another Saturday Night Live. I'm going to be doing these every Saturday. I know I will do. I'm in Spain for in a few weeks' time, so I won't be doing that. But it's fantastic talking to you boys. Just to let you know, I'm on the dance juice. I haven't started dancing yet, so it's not doing much for me. Richard Leonard, and we're starting a crowdfunding page for this. I'll tell you what, Richard, Matt, you sort it out, boys. You sort it out. Stick on Northern Southerner Beer Reviews on Facebook. You sort it out. Tell me what you're going to do. It'd be fantastic to see, wouldn't it? Be absolutely fantastic to see you boys do a crowdfunding page for Amanda Holden doing me a lap dance. There you go. She must have done Les Dennis one. But that's another story, isn't it, Les Dennis? So, boys and girls, tell me, what beers have you been drinking this week? Tell me exactly what type of beer. I'll tell you what, these live ones, I do. It doesn't really talk about beer, does it? We like to get to the beer. But it never gets round to it. It's always something else goes before. Matthew Barker, I've had dance juice and I thought it was okay, but I wouldn't go out of my way to buy it again. But that was just my. Everybody has different opinions, of course, which makes it all interesting. I'll tell you what, Matthew Barker, I've reviewed something today, which I'm going to show you just now, which I thought was the best beer that Tesco are doing at the moment. And that is this one. I reviewed it and I thought it was a belter. I really did. I thought that was a cracker. Give it a little twist for you. It's Los Cosmonauts from the North Brewing Company. Tesco's. It runs out quickly in Tesco's, but it is a cracker if you can get hold of it. I don't know if you've had that before, Matthew. Let us know in the comments. my uncle Jim. Hello, Jim. Hello, Jim, mate. Jim Bob. Can I call you Jim Bob? Jim Bob. Um, um, asked, have you had Wadworth Swordfish rum infused ale? No, I haven't. But I've had the Wadworth. Is it? Oh, I can't remember. Is it double X? I can't remember X. I can't remember. Is it XB? Wadworth? I can't remember the name of it. I had a bitter, the well-known bitter from Wadworth. I thought it was quite honest. I thought it was a rather nice traditional bitter, but I can't remember what it's called now. Richard Elliott says, been hitting the old faithfuls, Axholme Magnitude, Yorkshire Terrier. Well, the Axholme beer what Matthew sent me, Richard, I thought was really nice. I did. I think after a few, you might get like one of them limey tastes in the mouth, which you might have trouble getting rid of. But all in all, I thought it was a quite, an honest bottle of beer, and I thought it was really nice. Matt Barker said, I've not that one. I've had not that one. Next time I'm in Tesco's, we'll try for sure. You're going to have to be there at the right time, Matthew, for that one. You've got to be in the right time in Tesco's for that one. They do it, but like I said last week, I think they're having distribution problems with their craft beer because the shelves are getting empty and I can't refill them. I can't start putting stuff in because they're not getting it. So this is the downfall. I think they're starting to realise that, to keep them shelves kind of like full, they have to go down another avenue because shelves have been empty at mine since I started to introduce them. The shelves have been empty, for about 4 weeks now. So I don't know what it's like at yours. Matthew, Aaron Miller says, drinking Crate IPA from Tesco. Yeah, it's not bad. It's not bad beer. It's not bad beer. Crate IPA. Not the design of the cans, but what's inside them matters. And I'll be honest with you, it is a nice beer. I like the pale ale as well. I thought the Crate pale ale was a fantastic beer as well. And for 50p, you can't go wrong. Paul's beer reviews. Hello, Paul. Hello, Paul, mate. Nice to hear from you. Currently sipping on the dark one from Harpoon Brewery. Very nice too. What are we drinking tonight? Well, Paul, I don't know if you've reviewed this because you're a bit like me because you don't want to go down the Tesco's bandwagon, but you usually do after a while. I'm drinking that at the moment. I'm enjoying it. I know people who don't enjoy it, but I'm quite enjoying that. Also, Paul, I've just done a review for that one there, the North Brewing Company Lost Cosmonauts, which I thought was excellent beer. So tell us what you're drinking, Paul. Telescope Beer World says, hello, Paul. Matt Barker says, it's great news that Tesco's keeps selling out of their beer because it's only getting better. You're right, Matthew, but the problem is how many stores have Tesco got in the UK and how many, cans can these brewers kind of like keep up to the demand? And that is what I'm starting to think now because they're going to have to do it. I know Magic Rock have started to expand their brewery to cope with demand, but, it has to expand further to get, the shelves, to keep the shelves full, to keep them. And no, I've gone there, and there's hardly any vocation, hardly any. There's hardly any. If I look at the real ale bits, tend to be full all the time. They're kind of very, they're full all the time. When you get to the craft beer cans, they're doing. The only one which is consistently there for me where I am is that one. Apart from anything else, the 4 Pure they've run out of, especially that one. I think they've only stopped that twice. So you've got to keep an eye on it and make sure that they're got the beers there that you want. So I would imagine, Matthew, to go in there every week to keep an eye on it to see if they bought them out or not. But like I say, they put this little red stick on the shelf saying when it's available, 14th of July and 12th of July, but they're never there. They're never there. The beers are never there. One Bison paying 50p for them beers is class. It is. It is. You can't go wrong for 50p, can you? You cannot go wrong for something like that for 50p. But beer 50p. It's you really can't. You really can't go wrong. Matthew Barker. Oh, Paul's Beer Review says, hello, Terry. Hello, Terry. We all say hello, Terry. Jim asks, do you like cider? I do like cider. I went through a period when I started throwing cider reviews every week. I need to do maybe a cider weekend at some point just to do some more ciders. The majority of ciders I've done are Thatcher's. I need to start to delve deeper into cider. So that is something I really want to do with this channel and start to do more ciders. But with the influx of beer, I've got a backlog of beer at the moment. Actually put a thing up at one work fun. Actually put a thing up, about stuff, Anyway, forget about that. Yeah, so to commonly goal now, which is better, pork pie, sausage, Richard Elliott? I would go with the pork pie, especially like Yorkshire, like Skipton. Skipton, fantastic place in Yorkshire where they do pork pies, and they're still warm, and the fat is still dripping off them like you do. The fat's still just seeping off them. You just bite in, and the juices just go all over you. It's proper kind of like health warning. Government should be government health warning on them, but they're lovely, absolutely lovely. Paul Spirit says, you're a Vocation fan, aren't you? I do like Vocation Brewery. I wouldn't say I'm really a fan, but the beers I've had, I'm not too keen. I'll be honest with you, Paul. I'm not too keen on the. I did the sour from them, which is in Tesco. I can't remember what it's called now. I wasn't too keen on that, but I did really like their tropical beer with crate. Can't remember the name. I did like that, but I suppose I am in a way because they've done some nice beers. I can't see them doing any bad beers, but they've done some nice beers and some beers available which you can't in Tesco's, but you have to go to your bottle shop as well. I can't remember the name of the one. There was a kind of like a nut brown ale they did. Can't remember, but yeah, I suppose I am a Vocation fan. Yeah, they've done some really nice beers. They haven't done any really terrible beers, but yeah, they're great. They're great. Matt Barker says Jim said he's soon having a Co-op Turkey irresistible cider. Co-op Turkey irresistible cider. That sounds strange, Matt. I think you'll have to come out with more than that. He's having Co-op Turkey irresistible cider. I don't get that. Someone's got cider called Turkey irresistible. First for me, anyway. I'll have to get some refreshment. Hang on. It's really good. Really good. I like it. I like it a lot. Yes, it's good. I like that. It's lovely. Richard Elliott says, did you miss a comma or something, Matt? He might have. So, boys and girls, while the comments have kind of slowed up a bit, I'm just going to tell you, boys, that I'm fast approaching my 1,000th beer review, and it's a big moment for this channel, big moment for me personally, and a big moment all round for everybody. Well, for me anyway. And I did put something out about what beer I should review on it. I've said this before. I don't know if any of you watched me before, mentioned it on the live ones before, but I'm actually going to be doing Guinness draft, and I'm hopefully going to get some Murphys in as well. and do the comparison between Guinness and Murphy's. I know 100 million beer reviewers have already done it, but I've made a conscious effort not to do the Guinness draft and to do it for me thousandth. There's a kind of like I don't know. It's a kind of like I don't know, like a point on a mountain to carry on and go up a higher mountain. Aaron Mears says should get a special guest for the thousandth review. I'll tell you what, Matt. If you know Amanda Holden's agent, Aaron, that'd be cracking, wouldn't it? That'd be cracking. So you know what to do. Ring them up, get them up here, and we'll sort it out. Yeah, fantastic, mate. That'd be fantastic. Be brilliant, wouldn't it? Just do that, and we get everybody together. We do a thousandth beer review. So yeah, yeah, I can't wait to do it. I think I'm on about 979 views, which is pretty good going for a 4-year period. Paul's beer review says she'd do anything for a few quid. That one, she would. Yeah, that's why I slag her off, mate. Matt Barker says thousandth beer in a pub. I don't know. I mean, it's thousandth beer review. I've said it's going to be Guinness, but it may be when I'm in Spain in about 2 weeks' time. I don't know if it's going to come out then. So it's going to be, purely circumstantial. It's a fly flying about. Purely circumstantial when I'm going to do it and what beer I'm going to do, but I'm hoping it will be the Guinness, because I've never done Guinness draft review. I look back on my beer reviews. I've done a load of them, and there's obvious beers which I've overlooked, which I should do. As a beer reviewer, for me, you should do everything, and Guinness draft is one. I want to revisit Budweiser Budvar in a can, because when I first started reviewing beers, it was a learning curve for me in a way, and I wasn't that too kind to Budweiser Budvar, and I think I need to just go back to it and look at it again, but maybe in can form, because I think after having some pilsners and start to read up on the way they're brewed, the way they taste and that, and looking at it from the point of view of what they should taste as a type of beer, that maybe I should just go back and look at it again. Matt Barker says, what about Wander Beyond for the 1000th? I've become a big fan of them, like you now, every single one. Wander Beyond for me is just exciting brewery in the UK. They are the most exciting brewery. I think Wander Beyond are head and shoulders above everybody. I'm a big Cloudwater fan. I know people are not too keen on Cloudwater. I'm a big Verdant fan as well. But Wander Beyond seem to be that little bit higher. I seem to produce a little bit extra special beers to that. So yeah, I have thought about that, Matt. I think Wander Beyond. I think everybody should try a Wander Beyond beer, because they're phenomenal. Even the can, the design on their cans is astonishing. It's beautiful stuff. Matt Barker says, Jim said, what do you think of Amstel? I've never had I've had Amstel, but I never reviewed it, and it's one of them beers I need to review. Amstel for me is one of the beers you get when you're on holiday, when you go to Greece or whatever, and you usually drink it then, but I've never gone out my way in the UK to buy it or drink it, so it's another one to try and another one to review. Paul's beer review says, anyone going to the GBBF this year? I would love to go, Paul, but I'm not here. I'm in Spain. I've looked at other people's videos of the GBBF. It looks an amazing place, isn't it? It's just the Mecca. It's the Mecca of beer. when you go there. You got like a kid in a toy shop with all these wonderful brewers, wonderful beers which are available, and it's one of them places which I think we all need to go to. I'll be honest, every year I look for the date of when it's on, but I never get round to doing it. So yeah, I mean, I don't know where you are, Paul. Get get down there, mate. Go there and enjoy it. I mean, it's one of them places we all need to do. Aaron Miller, he's got one of them comments where I've got to show it before. But is it going to come up? Is it going to come? Oh, it's come up. Aaron Miller, Budvar is amazing. 4 big bowls for £6. It's mustard. Yeah, I think there's one review which I do regret. Is the Budvar one. So that is in the pipeline for me. I need to revisit it, look at it in can form, and see what it's all about. Because when I first started to put this channel up, it's more like a learning curve for me. It was more like, I don't really know much, but I'll just start this off and see where the journey takes me. And of course, one of the earliest reviews was Budvar, and I didn't like it then, but I think I need to look back on that one. That's the only review I really regret, that one. Richard Alien, it's 1,000. Would you review any beers? Would you give? No, I wouldn't give Carling Orange Boom a second treading. Richard, no chance. No chance. You wouldn't get me doing that. I may do some aged Belgian beers of the beers I've reviewed before. Rochefort 10 maybe in the pipeline for that. But no, I would not re-review any of that, because I still stand by what I say about them, and I think I'll always will. But like I said earlier, sometimes when you get into this beer reviewing lark and you look at different style and you don't appreciate the time and appreciate where his stance is, you think to yourself that, oh, maybe I was a bit, maybe unfair on it. So I need to look at that. Matt Barker says, do you like cheeses, Wheeler? Yes, I do. In fact, I've got a friend who owns a cheese shop who does Belgian beers. Belgian beers, cheese go hand in hand. Believe you me, Matt. If you want to go for a good cheese, go for something stinky. Got to be stinky. Got to be lively. Also go for a Grey's Boon or a Grey's or something like a Cantillon even to go with it. It just works so well. Even the Rocheforts or the triples, they go so well with cheese. So yeah. Jim said, have you had the Moncada Impy Custard Imperial Stout and 10.4%? Tell Jimbo, mate, I haven't, but I would love to try it. It sounds very intriguing. Paul's Beer Groove says, really looking forward to it. Got tickets for Tuesday sesh. Would have been great to have a brew with you. It would be, mate. I would really enjoy meeting you, mate. Enjoy Spain, though. Hopefully, Paul, you're going to put up some live reviews or reviews from when you're there. I'll be intrigued to see what you think. Also, Paul, if Durham Brewery are there, go and check them out, because I absolutely adore Durham Brewery, and I tell you to try their beers because they are absolutely beautiful. Go for the white stout and any of the aged stuff because they're fantastic brewer. So head for Durham Brewery, Paul, and do a review on it. I look forward to seeing them. But all in all, enjoy yourself. Richard Elliott says, meat and beer, cheese and beer. Sounds strange. No, not really. Not really. Meat and beer. When I say review something, Badgers. Let's go rewind a bit. Badger beers. I did the poacher. They used to be called the poacher. I think it's called the Cranbourne Poacher, and it's like a rich beer. It's like a cranberry juice beer. It's very sweet. It's rich. It's thick. It tastes gorgeous. But when you get a beer like that, slightly heavy as well, if you have some sort of meat, roast lamb is a good one. Um, Something which is kind of rich in texture, rich in sauce, even. If you have it, it does go well. I call them table beers because it's the type of beer which I wouldn't drink an excessive amount of, but it's a beer which is heavy in character, heavy in body, which you would have more or less with a substantial meal, something rich, something gamey, even. And there are beers out there which do it for me. Every time I do a review and I says this is a table beer. This is what I mean. Um, it's a beer which I wouldn't necessarily kind of drink on its own, but it's a beer I would have if you had 4-course meal or something like that. So this what makes it interesting because beer has its own place in people's lives and people would drink beer in different circumstances. But for me, when I have a table beer, a table beer, I mean at the dinner table. And yeah, cheese and beer sounds strange. It doesn't. It doesn't. Um, Cheese and beer, especially with the Belgian beers, the triples, they actually go really well. And I go to a place called the Cheese and Wine Shop, Darlington, and they specifically order in beers to go with their cheeses. And you'd be amazed with the type of beers they have in to go with their cheeses because a lot of it's Belgian, a lot of it's triples, and some of them are lambics, but a lot of it's triples, but they go so well together. So, Paul, get yourself some, Richard, sorry, get yourself some cheese, get yourself some Belgian triples or something like that, and have them together. Because I'll tell you what, they do work, but you got to get the right cheeses, of course. Um, Also, Duvel and chocolate work together as well. Believe you me, it does. Paul's Breweries is Darwin Brewery noted. Cheers. Yes, Paul, check out Darwin Brewery. I really, really rate them. I do. I really, really rate them. I think they're phenomenal. I think they do some fantastic beers. It's one of them places which I just do really. Most of their beers are strong, but most of their beers are flavourful, which you all want, didn't you? Try their white stout. Fantastic. Matt Barker, like Wonder Beyond, you're paying big money for them, but getting incredible quality. Another brewery, Evil Twinning Brewing, every single one of theirs are belters too. I haven't reviewed much for Evil Twin, Matthew, but I think it's the one, is it? More Pecan Jesus, something like that. I've reviewed it, loved it, absolutely loved it. Yeah, it's one of them brewers which I don't overlook. It's just I don't see many of their beers when I go into a bottle shop, and if I do, I will pick them up and try them. It's just you find that beer reviewers out there will find them and enjoy them. You find them most of them because they're readily available where they are. But where I am, Evil Twin, I find it hard to get hold of. So there you go. Aaron Miller says Duvel goes with and we say it all the time, Aaron, don't we? Duvel goes with a lot of stuff and is still a cracking golden nail. I say every time I do a live one, Duvel is one of the greatest golden beers in the world. I don't care what people say, it is cracking. Richard Elliott says I'll have to try Belgian beer and cheese in the natural environment. Yeah, you should do, Richard. You appreciate it, and it does work so well. Belgian beer, I think, when you look at it, if you look at it logically, Richard, you look at the Trappist breweries, you look at the Wasfort, you look at Chimay, what they do is they brew beer. What do they also do? They produce cheese. And, if you look at it logically, their cheese is meant to go with their beer. If you look at the way monks live, the way they kind of live their lives. You know, cheese. They drink beer. They eat cheese, and I think it just completely intertwines with their lifestyle, and it works so well. So for me, it's a bloody fly, and it there. For me, um, it goes well, and I think it works well, and I think that's why you should try it, Richard. You should try it, but you need to get the right Belgian beer for it. Whether or not to ask somebody where you're buying it from, or just look up on the internet what cheeses go well with what. It does work, and it does work really, really well. It really does. It's not the days of going into a pub and getting a pack of ready salted and getting a lager and just chucking a lager down your throat and eating your ready salted peanuts and stuff like that. It does work. Um, what I did is that when I first started to get into beer, um, um, I started to drink it and review it on social media like Facebook. I used to kind of put loads and tell you what I thought in the comments, tell you what I thought of it, give it a mark out of 10, and it was great. It was great. It was a learning curve. It was a learning curve for me. It was a learning curve to experience different beers, experience the way people brew them, find out a little bit more about the brewer, and it was a learning curve. And I used to do a tasting with Beer Guru Reviews, Panicos, um, online on Facebook, and it stemmed from there. Um, but there was a point where I couldn't take it any further. There's a point where I thought, well, I'm watching these beer reviews. I was watching, all these manner of people doing beer reviews, and I thought, well, there's only one way, and that is to do beer reviews on YouTube. And when I first started, I'll admit I was nervous, really nervous. And when I got into it, confidence builds up, and now it's second nature. Now I see all you lot as as me friends, so I just keep doing them and enjoying it. It's a journey for me, enjoying doing beer reviews, enjoying communicating like now, because I know a lot of people out there don't like going live, but I just like doing it. I like interacting with you boys and just having a laugh, because that's what it's all about. So that's where it stemmed from. Um, Matt Barker says, having Stone Brewery, I can't pronounce that, Matt. It's in a bottle shop a while back, and I couldn't pronounce that. Xuf something like that. I know it's a bell, but I never reviewed it. I need to review it. There's another one on the bucket list. I can't pronounce that. Slime Sky, Slime. I haven't forgotten about the Tesco Bitter. I haven't forgotten about Tesco Bitter. I will be reviewing that hopefully in the next few weeks. So I haven't forgotten that, Slime. I hope you're okay anyway. Hope you're doing all right. Yeah, so here we are. I'll refresh now the people have joined us. Refresh what I've been doing. I've been drinking and talking stuff with my very good friends out there about beer and stuff like that. While I'm here, I will tell you, boys and girls, mostly boys, it's really appreciated that you watch us, and it's really appreciated that you comment as well, and it's very much appreciated that you subscribe to my channel. I'm only a small dot in a massive universe of beer reviewers, and it's a privilege to have you boys watching me. So thank you for that. Richard Letter says exoco. It means cocoa in Meso Spanish. Spanish. Thank you very much for that, Richard. Obviously, Stone being Stone beers and being a mocha stout, San Diego be on the Mexican border. So yeah, thank you very much. Slime Sky says, yo, dude, love your live feed. Try that beer, love your opinion. I will be doing it. I haven't forgotten, Slime. I'll be doing the cheap Tesco bitter at some point, whether it's next week or the week after. Haven't forgotten. Every time you're on here, I will always remember, believe you me. So I've got, as I said to the people earlier, I've got a huge backlog of beers to kind of bring up. And also, you most probably have noticed that a lot of my reviews at the moment are getting a little bit shorter because I'm trying to fit more in, trying to fit more beers in to get them up, to get rid of the backlog. Then I'll resort back to the longer, long stretch, yawning reviews of what I'm most probably accustomed for. Um, Matt Barker says, Jim said, what about Fierce Beers? Have you had them? He's had one called Wolf Racer, 10% coffee stout. Fierce Beers, big fan of Matthew Barker. I'm just going to get you a beer to show you. There we go. That one there. Fierce Beers. This one I picked up a while back from Verdant. Fierce Beers and Verdant. This is a Citra beer. Highly recommend that. It was a belter, more than a belter. It was bloody good. It was phenomenal. Yeah, Fierce Beers starting to appear in Marks and Spencer, I think. Brewed near Brewdog. I think they are. Yeah, Aberdeenshire. That one was brilliant. It's a brilliant beer. Pure juice in a can, that was. I don't know if these are limited editions or whatever. Highly recommend anybody out there to try out and get hold of that one. That is a really, really good beer. It was. Sometimes when you get these beers with all these purees and all these stuff put in them and stuff, you tend to forget that it still needs to taste like a beer. It still needs to have the taste notes and all the ingredients that resonates with you to tell you up here it's a beer. I've always said that if you have a beer and it's pure fruit juice, for me, it's not a beer. So it's a fine line for me. It's a fine line. You need a beer, a can of beer, which gives you the essence of a beer, not of a pure fruit juice. That's what it's all about. Let's go to the comments. Slime Scott says, "How I'm doing? I'm doing okay, Slime. Thank you very much. I'm doing okay. The only thing which I'm not happy about is I'm not putting up enough reviews at the moment. So thank you for your support as always, Slime. Really appreciate it, mate. Don't forget, I will do that bitter." Terry's Cook Beverage says, "Get yourself a beer set." I love one, mate, because I've seen yours and it's excellent. It's an excellent beer set. I've seen all the bottles behind you and everything. It's fantastic. That's exactly the type of environment which I would really, really like. Problem is, my garden's a bit small, and I do like growing things. I don't know if anybody noticed. I will put a video up of my garden because there's a lot of nice plants I like in my garden. I'm a big love of roses and stuff. Believe it or not, quite green fingered. Slime Sky said, "Thank you for your appearance. It means everything to me." Hey, Slime, it's a pleasure. Anybody who watches me, anybody who I feed even, is an absolute pleasure. We live in a world where people are quite mean to each other. Why can't we, have something which is positive, something that we all agree, and why be nasty? People are so selfish in these days. They're all kind of like obsessed by money and shit like that. We'll just enjoy life, enjoy each other, enjoy appreciating somebody, being kind to you and you be kind back. And that's what it's all about for me. It's nothing to do with anything else. We can all be decent, can't we? And why can't we be that all the time? Thank you. Your opinion means everything. Slime, I'm just being truthful, mate. Just being truthful. Richard Lett says beer caravan. And I would love a beer caravan. Actually, it's a great business opportunity actually to have a transit van converted to a bottle shop, a mobile bottle shop, which you can take to all these different kind of like showgrounds and stuff and sell beer. Belgium, and in the bottle shop you'll have Belgian beer, you'll have American beer, you'll have UK craft beer. Good idea or not? Slime Sky says the best channel ever. Thank you, Slime. I really, really appreciate it. I really do. I don't call myself the best channel ever. I just enjoy doing this. I'm not one to follow any trends, or I'm pretty much on my own because I don't really mix with other beer reviewers as such. I don't really talk to many beer reviews as such because I like to be on my own. I like to do things the way I want to do them, and of course, it's always nice to kind of like get some appreciation. It really does. It really does. It really does. You know, I really do appreciate it. Tim said he's got a ghost in his house. Do you recommend a beer for a ghost? Ghost Ship, Adnams Ghost Ship. So get Jim to get some Adnams Ghost Ship. Lovely beer. Owen Miller said, would you rather munch on a man? Owen Miller says, would you rather munch on Amanda Holden's box after a long run for a week's work? Yeah, I would. I'll do that. I'll do that, Aaron. I'll munch it. I'll be a rug muncher. Definitely. Slime Sky said, have you noticed great IPA? Yeah, we've talked about that earlier. Get hold of it, Slime. It is a bargain for 50p. It's a bargain for £1. It's a bargain for 150. I thought they were okay. I thought they were okay beers, great beers. So yeah. Almila says, reiterate, said, yes, Slime, I cleared my local Tesco out this morning. So that's what you've been doing, Aaron. Been clearing them all out like you do. Poor buggers. So you got poor buggers like Slime going in. He's not going to have any. You greedy bugger. Well, I'm going to have some light refreshment, boys, while you recuperate. That's cracking. Slime Sky got a fly on my head. Slime Sky says you really thought it was. Yeah, it was. It was, because when you review a beer, when I review a beer, I take into account how much it's cost me, and what you're going to get for your money. It's very important. So if you have a beer which costs you £8, if that crate beer cost me £8 and I got the taste notes I had from it for £8, maybe I would not have rated it so highly. But because it's pretty cheap and you're getting a lot of taste out of it, then you think to yourself, yeah, this is a good beer, you know. And sometimes that's the way I look at it. Sometimes, you know, that's the best way to look at it. Matt Barker says, I'm craving a Wander Beyond a Brew Your Beer. So am I, Matt. I'll crave them every day. Absolutely love both brewers. Absolutely love all their beers. I'll always levitate towards any of their beers because I think they're good quality stuff and very tasty. And I would pay up to £20 for a can of decent Wander Beyond. Serious. Richard Elliott says, I had a ghost in the house once. The power of Carling compelled it to bugger off. Yeah, I think Carling would compel anything. I think if you had a rat infestation, it would kind of like, if you brought the Carling out, they'll all do a runner like you do. So yeah, yeah, I mean, each to their own. People like Carling, always remember, I think it's Mallorca Airport, had a Carling bar in the Mallorca Airport. Oh, remember that great big bar in the middle of the terminal, Mallorca Airport, Carling. Oh, terrible. Matt Barker says, what is your favourite Brew York beer? Massive fan of Tom Coco Imperial Stout. Have got a Brew York beer in the which I thought was pretty good, you know. Just get it out. This is one which I thought was really. This was one I thought which was really good, but which I see many review it, but I thought it was really good. I haven't really got many reviews on the review either. And this was this one, Matt. And this was the old Stracciatella, which goes to show that I'm always, which I've always seen it as, what I said to you, I think it's yesterday, that Brew York do some strange collabs, but they work. And this is one of them. That one is one of them. The Stracciatella, I thought it was a great beer. After I kept the can because I liked it. Gelato Porter, really liked it. I think I've only seen Beer Dad do that one. So yeah, I like that. I like Skoda Wars. I like all of them, to be honest. I like Tom on the Imperial, which I will do. But yeah, Storm Sky says, "See ya." Something. Storm Sky, thank you very much for watching, mate. You're a pleasure always to drop by and that. So whenever you're on, whenever I'm on, just drop by. Matt Barker says, Jim said, "Do you know if Stone's Bitter is still on the go because he hasn't seen it in years?" It is still there. It's in the local package shop near me. Stones is still in abundance, and it's still dead cheap. So that's what it's all about. That's what it's all about. So yeah, it's Stones is still on the go, and it's really 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 nice bitter. And for the money, you can't go wrong, can you? Really, at the end of the day, Stones bitter. It's got like a staple of a lot of growing up and that, if you know what I mean. If you know what I mean. So, boys and girls, it's been a really good one tonight, I have to say. Oh, he's back. Slime Sky's back. I've got 5 points, Jupiter, for 50p. Do you think it's nice? I haven't done any 5 points yet, Slime, but I imagine it will be okay for 50p as well. I think it'll be cracking. I think it'll be a cracking beer. I can't see it being really, really bad, to be honest. So, yeah, I can't go wrong. I don't think you can go wrong with that, to be honest. I think the majority of beers I have in Tesco are pretty much safe stuff and pretty much, good tasty stuff as well. So you can't go wrong, can you? Can't go wrong. You can't go wrong with the way the supermarket. I should do a supermarket league table. If I did it at the moment, if Tesco be at the top, I think Asda or Morrison's or Asda be second or third. They're all doing great stuff, and at the end of the day, and that's what it matters. That's what it matters. Doing some great stuff. A pub near me used to sell Stones on draft. It was only a couple of quid. I didn't think it was too bad, and for the price, it was fantastic value. They got rid. Yeah, I suppose so. Replaced with Doombar, which was the same. Yeah, but Stones is still available in can. I've seen it. Terry's quick beer review says, "Yeah, since I had a Toby Bitter." That's a name from the past, Terry. Toby's Bitter. I'm not sure if it's still going. I don't know, Terry, to be honest. It's certainly not going well now. But when I lived in the south, in good old Sussex, shall I say, I'm not too sure, Not too sure. Be nice to know if it is going. Richard Elliott, thoughts on Bombardier? Bombardier. I'll be honest, I wasn't much of a fan of Bombardier. I know it's gone to Eagle Brewery now or whatever. I don't know the fundamentals between Wells and Young and Eagle's Brewery, where Bombardier is concerned. It's a beer which I would drink. It's a beer which that's about it. It's now special for me. I know certain reviewers. It's one of the Marmite beers. I think some people like it, some people hate it. For me, I wasn't that too nonplussed about it, to be honest with you. Matt Barker says, "Will you be reviewing Brewdog Zombie Gate?" I will do at a certain point, Matthew. I try to kind of steer clear of Brewdog unless I have to be honest. Because and I know, as soon as Brewdog bring out beer, everybody reviews it, and it's a ton of Brewdog reviews of that specific beer. But yeah, I will do at a point. I don't know with BrewDog for me. BrewDog, it's kind of like I don't find them inspiring anymore. I don't know. It's just me. I don't find them exciting. It's kind of like every month a new BrewDog beer comes out of the shops. You think, oh wow, fantastic. And I'll be honest with you, a lot of them has been pretty damn squiddish, if to squiddish, to be honest. So I do it. You know what? I do BrewDog beers just to do it. I don't do BrewDog beers because I really, really want to try this beer anymore, which is um, a big shame for me. Um, Matthew Barr, when you said BrewDog are becoming the followers these days, rather, I think they are. I know for a fact they are. Um, let's put this into perspective about BrewDog. When they first came out, they were a very exciting brewery. They did some very exciting beers, um, combinations of tastes and combinations of hops, combinations of all these different styles of taste notes. They were exciting. They were the new kids on the block. When the Punk IPA came out, it was exciting. But what happens when you usually get a good thing going is that other people start to take note. And for me, they haven't been exciting enough since then. They are pioneers. They are pioneers. You cannot, deny that BrewDog are not pioneers of the craft beer industry. But what's happened is that while they think they're pioneers, all these other breweries have just come up behind them and overtaken them. You know, they're they're kind of a horse in a horse race. You're near the finish line, but there's a couple of horses coming round and they're just going boom straight across the line at the end. And I think you know, there's there's some brewers out there which I think are more exciting than what BrewDog are. And don't get me wrong, I think BrewDog can produce some astonishing beers if they put their mind to it. But for me, you know, Wander Beyond, Verdant, I can list a load of Brew York. I can list a load of more exciting brewers. If I go into a shop, I levitate towards their beers as opposed to a Brewdog beer. I just do. I just do. I don't. The labels aren't exciting anymore. It's as if they bought this big labeling machine in their brewery and just churn out the same labels but on different colour paper. It does not do anything for me. For me, presentation is key as well. Presentation, if somebody takes care in the presentation of the can, then 9 times out of 10, the liquid inside it is going to be good. So for me, nah, they're not doing it for me. Um, I think Brewdog have lost concentration. They are more bothered about stuff like their own gin, whiskey hotels, flights, etc. Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, they are pioneers in that aspect because they're pushing the boundaries of what they can do as a brewery. They're pushing the boundaries of how far they can take their craft beer, which is fantastic, which is great. But for me, it doesn't make any difference because I'm not going to go on one of their beer flights. I never will do. I'm not an equity punk. I don't buy shares in their brewery. Um, I do once in a while drink in their bars, but it just doesn't do it for me no more. I just find, you know, I just find other brewers more exciting. I can't help it, but it won't stop me from, reviewing BrewDog beers. But when I go into a bottle shop, I've got BrewDog, Verdant, Pressure Drop, Bayer, Wander Beyond. I'll be levitating towards that side than BrewDog. Richard Elliott says, seems every man and his dog has their own gin line. Gin's gone boom. Gin's gone boom. I'm not a gin drinker, so but it's gone boom like the craft beer industry, I suppose. So yeah, I mean, I would maybe do gin reviews one day. It's expensive stuff, but um, I need to really study how they kind of produce gin. You need to really study how they produce gin, um, and start to appreciate all the different types of gin before reviewing it. So I'm not a gin drinker, I can't really appreciate it, but I know where you're coming from. Um, Matt Barker says Brewdog presentation is what I call boring. It is compared to all the other craft beers. I mean, like I said, Wander Beyond cans uh, is an artwork. It's beautiful. You know, the designs on the cans and what you get inside is just as beautiful. And it's very rare in these days that you get something what looks good, but is good on the inside as well. So it's very rare. Um, Tez Quick Brewery says, "Have you tried any XT Brewery beers, mate?" No, I haven't, but I'm quite. XT Brewery does ring a bell, Terry. I'm not too sure where. I'm not too sure, but I know XT Brewery rings a bell. Is it Southern Brewery, Terry? Let us know because if I might have seen it in the past. Um, Matt Barker says, "Remember one time nobody much drank gin, but now it's gone boom like quite." It has because I think with craft beer and with gin, people are wanting something that tastes a little bit different, tastes a little bit away from the norm, a little bit away from the traditional. And I suppose that's why it's become as popular as what it is. You can't, people always look for something different in something, and I suppose that's the way it's gone. If you go to York, Matt, um, I think I've got Europe's biggest gin shop in York. Evil Eye, just down the road from the old Trembling Madness. Pop in there. They've got plenty of gin. Um, Richard Elliott, I like the fact you levitate towards beers, implies you're some kind of wizard. I'm not a wizard. Levitate. I'll float across the floor. I float across the floor towards beers. I suppose I am. I haven't got any spells though, Richard. Give some spells, mate. Um, Beer sage, definitely a beer sage. Beers, sage and beer, that's an interesting one. Um, why haven't people kind of like brewed beer more with herbs than anything else? That's a good one. Of course, you get the herbal taste notes in some styles of beer. Wouldn't it be great if Matt Barker says flown across the floor after a few? I do, Matt. I'll be honest with you, mate. I do float like on a magic carpet. I think everybody does after a few. But you know, that's that's what you do, isn't it? Kind of like fly across the room. Matt Barker says Michela Buddha beer with basil. Yeah, why don't people start to look at herbal? You know, we always get these beers which are more fruit based, puree based, even. We get beers which are kind of like hazy fruit based beers, puree. Why not do something more herbal? I'm not too sure if the Little Earth Project still do more herbaceous beers, but I think beer is more of a savoury taste for me, and I think more herbaceous beers would be nice. I did a Badger one 2 years ago, and I think I can't remember what herb it was. It was lovely. It worked really, really well. Which I said that'd be you in York next week to Matt Barker, I'd suggest. But yeah, what herbaceous beers? The UK's first herbaceous beer. Um, let's go. Richard says, I think a mint beer would be interesting. It would either be good or utter shot. I think mint, depending on what herb you use for beer, Richard, I think it depends on what style of beer you use. I think a mint beer would go well like a pilsner. If you think what a pilsner would be, what it tastes like, hints of lemon. Maybe slightly dry on the back end. Lots of carbonation, lots of slight hint of bitterness on it. Stick a bit of mint on it. It might turn it into something a little bit more refreshing. I think mint would be a good ingredient on a beer. I'm just surprised that nobody's really gone down that route. I think where herbs are concerned, they bring a lot to the table. Mikkeller are releasing a carrot sour. See, that is exciting, Matt. That is an exciting beer. If you hear a brewery which is bringing out a beer which is a carrot and it's a sour, you're gonna go for it, aren't you? You're gonna pick one up and give it a go. I certainly would. Thought it sounded crazy, but I looked up with it's very highly rated. So would be Matthew, get hold of it. If you're in the Mikkeller Club, which I think you are, get hold of it, mate. Want to be able to put up a mint in one of their latest 12% black oak. It's a beer I'm looking. Yeah, again, it's one of them things. Terry's Quick Brewers, XT Brewery. Just Google it. Brewery somewhere near the Thames in Oxford, a farm. I have had a beer from them, and I think I reviewed it, but I'm not sure what beer. I remember seeing a beer. I remember buying it. It said XT Brewery on. I haven't got a clue, Terry, but I think I did review something. I'm gonna have to have a look, and I shall tell you, Terry, next time we're on, which beer it was. But it does ring a bell. XT Brewery. It certainly does that. I can't really think what it was. It's I've definitely done a beer from XT Brewery. That's bugging me now, Terry. Thank you for bugging me, mate. Thank you. Cheers, everybody. Cracking. That's cracking, that. I've been doing too much talking, not enough drinking. What do you think, mate? I'm in the Matt Barker. Oh, sorry. Terry's Quick Beer Review says another top brewery in my book. Terry, I trust your judgment 100%. If you say it's a top brewery, I will try them and I'll enjoy them. Because I'll tell you what, the beers that you've done in the past, I've really enjoyed, which I've got hold of. So you got good taste, mate. Matt Barker says, what do you think, mate? I'm in the Mikkeller Beer Club. I revived this box this week and was the wrong box. They told me to keep it and they will send out the right box. What can you say? £40 worth 3, mate. You know, if someone sends you 40 quid's worth of beer wrong, you can't go wrong, can you? To be honest, I put the line. You can't go wrong, can you? To be honest, enjoy it, Matt. That's all I can say. Enjoy it. That's what I would definitely do. Someone sent me the beer wrong. That's one thing I'll do. One thing I'll do. I'm just gonna go to the toilet before. This is a live feed. When you do live feeds, I'm just going to try. I'll just stick that there. Stick that there. Hold on. Back again. Oh, that's better. That's a problem with you doing live feeds. John Brown, Beer Sage will be back after these messages. Yes, Richard. Matt Barker says a live feed first. Jonathan Brown goes to the piss. I did. I was desperate. Absolutely desperate for that, Matt. Absolutely desperate. I couldn't help it. Couldn't help it, mate. Anybody who drinks beer who needs to go for one, you gotta go. You gotta go, and you gotta go. But this is a first YouTube live stream. My bucket, the seals, it has. I feel a lot better after that. Anyway, what were we talking about? We're talking about herbs in beer. Chamomile is another one, which would be interesting. Why did you hear me? Richard, did you hear me? Well, I can't. We're all human after all, aren't we? I felt like that's why I do my beer reviews in the bathroom now, because if I go in the bathroom, I tend to kind of like if I wanted to have a quick one in the bathroom and still review. That's the first, isn't it? Matt Bar cannabis. Exactly. That's another thing, Matt. That's another great idea. Cannabis beer. What about it? That'd be a fantastic idea, wouldn't it? Fantastic. All these herbs and plants and stuff. It'd be fantastic. Interesting. Interesting. Black Forest Gatto Stout. That's another one. What about that? Black Forest Gatto Stout. That'd be a mint one, that. Imagine that, going to go to your bottle shop. I'll have a Black Forest Gatto Stout with the cherries on top as well. It'll work though, wouldn't it? Definitely, because most stouts have chocolate in. Well, I know that one. Cannabis Imperial IPA. Cannabis Imperial IPA. What would you call it, Matthew? Let us know, mate. Let us know what you would call that. Just go in on this. That's lovely. That is really good. You know what? I've been drinking this for the past hour and a half. I've only got down, so I'm too busy talking. Too busy talking to you boys out there, which is, I'll be honest with you, absolute pleasure every Saturday night. Yeah, Cannabis Imperial IPA sounds really, really good. Richard there says cannabis beer would have to be, I don't know what he means. You float, yeah. I think it would knock you out, that's for sure. You wouldn't want any more than a couple, but it would work though, Matt, wouldn't it? It would work. It would work. So the comments tonight have been more or less on the craft beer sector, right? I want to get back down to the small guy, the small brewer, the bottle you find in your farm shop, the bottle you find in garden centres, that type of thing. I think it's very important we recognise those type of brewers as well. Matt Barker says, what kind of beer would you recommend to a company man? What do you mean by company man, Matt? Is it somebody who just goes in and does his job, which we all do, work excessive hours, which I haven't been doing, but we all do, and enjoying a beer? Company man. I've got bloody fly. This fly's flying around this room. I'm not too sure what you mean by that. Anyway, as I was saying about the small real ale, let's get back to real ale. Let's get back to the beers which are bold instead of fancy cans. I think these brewers are starting to get left behind because of everybody's fascination with the brightly coloured, brightly decorated can of craft beer, and I think we should never forget them. Richard Ayres said, and Amanda, don't forget the Amanda comments. Oh no, we can't remember them, can we? The Amanda comments. Jim said, what was the first beer by a brewery in the UK and the brewery? Do you know? Jim said, what was the first beer by a brewery in the UK? The oldest commercial brewer in the UK, is it Shepherd Neame? I think it is. The oldest beer, I'm not too sure about. I'm not too sure. Tell Jim I'm not too sure. The oldest brewery in the world, is Weinsteffen, according to folklore, according to some doomsday book on something in Bavaria. That's supposed to be the oldest brewery in the world. Richard, one man. Don't forget the man. No, he means me. I don't know, Richard. You lost me there, Richard. Matt Buck says these traditional brewers was the ones that started. Yeah, it is. It is. But what we got to be careful of, Matt, is these traditional brewers who start craft beer. Is you don't want to forget about them. And I could see in the future there'll be a generation of people getting into craft beer who will not be, what's the word? Yeah, with the old school, if you know what I mean, the old school, the Sepanim, the Fullers, Theakston, Timothy Taylors, anybody like that, J.W. Lees, that's another one, Wadworth, another one, Harvey's, another one. This is the thought process I have, is that it's all great having brightly coloured cans, brightly coloured beers, brightly coloured tasting beers, but you also got to remember, the old school. Without the old school, you wouldn't have the new school, would you? Which aired said the company man, me. Hello, Mr. Baz. Sorry I'm late. Darren Hawthorne. That's fine, mate. That is fine, mate. We've been having a cracking night tonight so far. Darren Hawthorne, everybody. Give him a round of applause. No, I'll be fine. We have been talking predominantly about beer tonight, Mr. Hawthorne. So thank you very much for joining us. We've been talking about the traditional sense of brewers. We've been talking about the old school brewers. We've been talking about the modern day brewers. And Mr. Hawthorne, if you're watching, get yourself down Tesco, get hold of one of them. It's a belter. It's a belter. Tesco Weaver says Wadsworth 6X. It is 6X. Yes, that's the one I like. Their famous beer, Wadsworth. It was from Wadworth, Wiltshire, isn't it? Wadworth. Yeah, it's a lovely beer. Terry, try the Theakston's XB. It's a cracking beer. Matt Barker, which traditional brewery do you think is the most popular, doing well? I think Wychwood has to be one of those, but it is Wychwood Brewery. People who like Wychwood Brewery, like Status Quo fans, they wear the T-shirt. They can go on about how great Wychwood is, and they stick to it. They stick to Wychwood beers, but they don't deviate. Very rare they deviate elsewhere, because I think Wychwood beers is the best. But for me, yeah, Wychwood beers fantastic from a marketing point of view, but Wychwood beers are very mediocre in some terms. I do like Hobgoblin. Richard Elliott says, would you say there's a difference between traditional small brewers and the guys brewing in a garage or the local bottle shop? No, I don't think there is a difference between traditional small brewers and a guy in his garage. Because if the guy in the garage is just as skillful and knowledgeable about brewing beer as what a traditional small brewer is, then there's no difference. The only difference between them is the investment and the step up. From you're going from a guy who's doing it in his backyard to a guy who's doing it in a small premises for a bottle shop. The standard of the beer, I think, if it's brewed properly, will most probably be the same. And as long as it's great, that's what matters. And as long as people buy it, that's what matters, because that's what it's all about. It's all about encouraging small brewers, small people with small outlets to produce beers and to produce them well for likes of me, you, everybody out there to enjoy. Matt Barker says, Jim said it's always a good pint when you always have a good head from top of the glass to the bottom until when you finish the beer. Yeah, it's an old school thing, that. It's an old school thing. You pour a pint out, it's got a good head, it's got good. Yeah, it definitely is. Tez Quick Beer was this. I just can't seem to get hold of Theakston's XP. So I'll tell you what, Terry, if you want, it's up to you. I will get you a bottle of XP and send it to you. Let us know in the comments, and I'll try and sort something out. As I do work for Theakston's part time now and again at the moment. Richard Ellis is going to that tack. Would you say the soul of the brewer beer will beat the big companies? It's all about, if you put your soul into a pint of beer, it's just as important than say something from Magic Rock. It's one of them things, you know. If your soul, if you got your belief in the ingredients, if you got the belief in what's going to come out in that glass, at the end of the day, it's all about in that glass. And to be honest with you, that glass is a reflection of what you are as a brewer, because what comes out in that glass is what you into it at the end of the day. So yeah, definitely. So any more comments? Yeah, I think, you know, beer is a reflection of the brewer. It's more than anything else. Beer is a reflection of what we do. Beer is a reflection of what we say. Will you be having any other beers tonight? I was going to crack that open, Matt. Here you go. I've had it before, reviewed it before, liked it, so I thought pick one up. Like you too. You know, it's like, Matt, have you done the cracked open the Raven tonight? Well, I sent you the Sonnet 43. Tell us. Yeah, so as ever, got hiccups now. Thank you very much for joining me. Got hiccups tonight. Can't go with Magic Rock. Would you brew your own? I would. I would brew my own. Like I say, I will go down that, you know, the herbal route, herbaceous type, even kind of like a beer with kind of like rose water would be different, wouldn't it? Rose water beer. Yeah, I would kind of like the beers I would do would be more plant based, more herbaceous beers. Rose water beer, I think, would be really, really interesting. Can't infuse them with flowers. Imagine beer infused with flowers, chamomile beer. It'd be interesting. I don't think I'll know anybody who does infused beer with flowers. So, yeah, for me, it would be completely different. Matt Barker says, Jim said, do you think 2 to 3 beers a night is bad for your health? I mean, I'll be honest with you, you know, we live in a world at the moment that everything has got a health warning on. Everything we do has got a health warning. Everything we say, everything we do, everything we eat, everything we buy, it's got a health warning on. And people tend to take that to a degree which, for me, honestly, it's pathetic. You know, I had a grandfather who lived into his 80s, which he drank every day. It doesn't make any difference. It's down to the individual. Do you think 2 to 3 beers a night is bad? Do I? Hell, I think 2 to 3 beers and it's quite adequate. No, I don't. I think if you enjoy it, do it. If you like, you know, bread and dripping, do it. You know, if you like fish and chips in full lard, do it. It doesn't matter. I think we've gone too far. We've come to a point where everybody's kind of like too scared to have this, too scared to have that, and I think we should follow what the previous generation have done. You know, Matt Barker said he isn't talking about getting pissed. I'm not either. Anything like that. Just relax. Yeah, I think, yeah, I agree with Jim. I think you should do. Because I don't drink really to get pissed. I drink beer because I like beer. there's a difference there. There's a difference between getting pissed every night than drinking beer because you like it. It's like drinking a bottle of wine every night. You drink a bottle of wine because you like wine. You know, if you wanted to get pissed on wine, you drink about 5 bottles of wine. If you want to get, drunk on beer, you drink 6 bottles of beer. It's the difference between the two. For me, there's nothing wrong in that whatsoever. Don't believe what the government say. Don't believe in what they, say it could cause cancer and all this shit. You just enjoy what you have. You enjoy drinking a good beer. Then God bless you. Matt Barker says, me personally, I don't think it's any worse than drinking a couple of cans. You're right, hit the nail on the head. I don't think it is. I don't drink any soft drinks, so I don't know. Especially don't drink any Red Bull or any of that crap. For me, I just drink tea and coffee. Beer at the weekends. If it's extremely hot outside through the week, I'll have a beer, but usually it's a non-alcoholic beer, just to, you know. Rich says, I use the guidelines of 12 hours clear from last hit. I don't do it. If you want to be, just crack the bugger open. Fuck what the politically correct says. Just enjoy it. And that's what it should be. It should be enjoyed amongst everybody. That's what it should be. Drinking beer, it's enjoyment. It shouldn't be any constraints involved in how many you're drunk and what you've been drinking and stuff like that. It should be, down to enjoying life. Beer is part of life. Beer is part of eating fatty foods. It's who cares? Who cares? You're the individual. You decide what you want to do. You could drink beer and live to you in the 90s and the hundreds. It doesn't matter. It's all about what you enjoy. Don't get scared by what anybody else says. I certainly do. Matt Barker says, Jim said you paid the same for I don't know about that. I mean, you go to the supermarket, they're usually about 130 to 150 a bottle. You go to the BOR, it's about 180 a bottle. It's 30 pence difference. It doesn't really do anything. But there's, like I said before, there's always a market for non-alcoholic beers. I think you should embrace it more than anything else. I've had some great non-alcoholic beers. Some beers I've had have been fantastic. The Brooklyn Brewery Special Effects is a good one, but I don't see. I really don't see any difference in having a massive price difference. Richard says lessens the chance of pulling you over. Let's be honest. If you're responsible enough, if you're a responsible person enough, you wouldn't be drinking driving. That's the way I look at it. If you're drinking driving, then you really are a complete tosser. But if you're kind of like mature enough to realise that alcohol and driving doesn't mix, like a majority of us do, then you wouldn't be even questioning this question, would you? It's kind of like, yeah, you drink a non-alcoholic beer. Me, I never drink and drive. Never. To be honest, apart from beer reviews at the weekend, maybe the odd couple of cans, I don't really drink through the week. Some people might have the perception that because you review beers, you have a beer every night. No, I don't. Far from it. Because for me personally, to appreciate what beer is all about, you have it at the weekend and you try and be a good boy all through the week. Which says I don't drink and drive. Yeah, you don't, Richard. You don't drink and drive. That's what you do. It's not rocket science, is it? Matt Bauer says, Jim said, what about in a pub? Do you think it's fair when pubs are charging almost the same price for a pint of Coke as a beer? Out on people trying to stop drinking and people driving. That's the way pubs work. At the end of the day, if I was kind of like in the circumstance where I had to, to to have a non-alcoholic beers but still pay a premium for it, I most probably would go to a pub. Um, I can see where Jim's coming from, but at the time it's a matter of you know it's a matter of personal thing. You know it's all the pedestrians' fault at the end of the day, Aaron. Isn't it? 5 and drive at the moment is scandalous. Um, yeah, I suppose so. Yeah, but end of the day, we should all be, responsible for our actions. And at the end of the day, if you've got half a brain, you wouldn't do it. I'm going. That's that emptied. I tell you what, it's taking me ages because I'm talking too much. What we got? Only it says 5 and drive at the moment. It's scandalous. One by Spain with the double barrel name. He says 5 and drive. It's a solid level. Indeedy. Most certainly indeedy, right? Richard says we've involved legs to drink beer. We certainly have. We certainly have, Richard. We certainly have. Yeah, legs take us home, don't they, at the end of the day? So, boys and girls, 152 in. I might wrap this one up. It's been really good tonight, I must admit. I will do this every week. Obviously, I'm in Spain in a couple of weeks' time, which I won't do if we don't see it up. I'll be doing it again when I get back. Matt Barker says he enjoys the rocking the beer gut. I ain't got much of a beer gut. Matt, have you got a beer gut? Send us a picture, mate. Send us a picture. So, boys and girls, thank you very much, as always, for joining me tonight. The wife won't mind. Get her involved. I lay beer reviews. I will do, mate. I will do wine. God bless you, mate. God bless you, Aaron. God bless you, Richard. God bless you, Matt. God bless you, Jim. See all of you, every one of you, on my next one. Stars. Cheers. Cheers, all. Cheers, every one of you. Cheers, every one of you. You all stars. Do you know that? All stars. Farewell, beer sage. That's right, Richard. Farewell to you, my old son. Farewell to you. Am I coming off this stream? I haven't got a clue. But I need to have a cup of coffee. Am I coming off this stream? I think I am. But they're kind of like it's weird. It's kind of like it's got cheers, Matt. Cheers, Matt. Take care, me old friend. Take care. We'll see you soon. Say bye to Matt.